Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with a blank schematic window. I want to go ahead and draw a voltage divider circuit. So let's go ahead and hit F2 to bring up my component selector. I'll grab a voltage source. We'll just throw it down here and hit escape. And then we'll hit R on our keyboard, rotate the first resistor, and then we'll rotate a second resistor. Place those down, hit escape. And then I'll zoom in a little bit. We'll go F3, draw the wires. And the reason I want to do this, and then I'll hit escape and then I'll ground both sides. And then what I want to do is I always want to label all my nodes. So let's call this node VS. We'll call it VS for our source, V source. And then I'll label this node VO for V out, or our output voltage of the voltage divider. Okay, and then we need to give values to our components, so we can go ahead and hit, let's make this, I don't know, 24 volts. And then we'll go with a 2K resistor on the top and a 6K resistor on the bottom. Okay. And so we're ready to run this. What's the last thing that we need to do in order to run? We need to hit S on our keyboard and type .op for an operating point simulation. And then we can hit run. And if we're interested in the current in our circuit and then the voltages, we would just go to Command L and we can see those. So we see that the voltage at node VS is 24 volts. The node voltage of VO or V0 or V out is 18 volts, so that's this node right here. And then the current, so all the currents in my circuit turned out to be -3 milliamps. That's got to be because of the way that I have the resistors rotated. So let's go ahead and come back over here. F7, I'll rotate my resistor this way. I'll do the same with this one. And then I should be able to rerun. Hit Command L, and now my resistor currents are positive 3 milliamps, which is what I expect. I expect, since I have 24 volts here, a drop across this resistor, I should definitely get current flowing from left to right. I think I can actually go hit into my two-finger click and hit draw, and sometimes I like to do this. I think it's nice. I can draw a little arrow. This is a pretty ugly arrow, actually. Let me just undo that. Undo, 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 undo. And I can teach you the undo command with my ugly arrow. That is undo, and that's Fn plus F9. And the last thing I want to show in this video is that I don't actually need to run the .op simulation and check the SPICE error command. Once I've run it once, I can actually come here and two-finger click on this node and hit place .op data label, and it will label the node with the voltage for me, which is really nice. And I can do it on this node as well. So you can see the voltages right there on the nodes. If I do it down here, it'll be 0, of course, because it's ground. And so that is really nice. You definitely need to run the simulation at least once so that it can compute these values, but once it's computed them, you don't need to go back and rerun it and reopen the SPICE error log. That data is already saved, so you can just go click on the node with two fingers and place an OP or a .op data label wherever you would like. I'll go ahead and undo a couple of those just to keep it clean, and I'll go ahead and end this video right here.